Guys, welcome to 90 Days Melanated Way. I'm your host, Linda Antwi. You guys have asked, and we finally have special guests Charlie and Megan Potthast to talk about their side, talk about all things 90 Day Fiance. As you know, with all of our after shows, we have definitely been Team Charlie over here. And let's talk about it. Let's clear the air with them. So let's welcome Meg and Charlie. Hey, guys. Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Great. Thank you so much for joining us. I kind of wanted to just start from the beginning. So there's a lot of stuff that people don't know because they only see you in spurts, right, on TV. And so they've assumed a lot of things. But I want to take it back to the beginning. You guys have been married for many years. I think, 19 years?
Nah, we've been together for that long, but we didn't get married until like what?
2000. Babe, really?
2013.
In November, we'll be celebrating our 8th
we've been anniversary. Half our lives been together, basically.
Yeah.
So you were high school. How did you meet? Were you high school sweethearts?
She was best friends with my sister Jen, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
basically,
like
we were best friends.
She wouldn't leave me alone. So
Oh yeah.
She was like a stalker.
Basically.
No, we actually didn't get along at all at first. I was the like annoying friend, and then I don't know what happened. You went away for school for a little bit and came back, and then we ended up together. And the rest is
19 years together. You obviously guys know each other very, very well. I'm going to start with you, Meg. What is one thing that the 90 Day fanhood believe about Charlie that's not true?
They think he is a total asshole, and they think he's jealous of Andrei, which is a complete joke.
And what is one thing about Meg Charlie that people believe that is not true?
That's a good question. What do they believe? I don't know.
What do they say about me that you know that's not true?
Oh, that like she's a drug addict and all this type of bullshit. It's like, bro,
I've never done drugs, so
we smoked weed in high school one time and she threw up. She never touched drugs again.
I'm not a druggie. Never been my thing.
So let's ask you guys this. How did you get involved in the 90 Day fandom? And did you know that the fandom was as big as it is?
No.
Nah, to be honest, like when Libby was like interviewing for the show, she was like living with me, right? And that's when she was like talking to Andrei, right?
Yeah.
And so she's like, I'm trying to like interview for this to be on this reality show. And she's like, 90 Day Fiance. I'm like, okay, what is that? Never heard of it, this and that. So like they had me interview, like say, tell me about your sister and like her relationship, stuff like that. And like, how do you feel about that? And blah, blah, blah. And so I did that. And then, they were on the show for a couple of years. And then, I was in like one scene where they wanted me to come to I guess when Andrei first came to America and I guess met my dad.
Oh, the King of Moldova.
Okay.
Yeah, we met at this restaurant and, I was on that. And then, I went to Moldova and everything changed after that.
Now, do you think it changed because you guys were such a hit? You came in there guns a-blazing, and then did the network say, hey, you know what? This was great TV, so like we're going to show more of the family side of things. Do you think that's what happened?
Yeah, well, I mean, and my dad's always checking the ratings, so he loves to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, pretty much my life changed after that. It was like.
Well, I think both of your guys' lives have changed because when we were first introduced to you guys, I think it was very on a limited basis. So everyone, Meg, thought you were like the fourth sister.
Yeah.
So that there was tons of rumors that I was hearing, like, oh my God, who is the sister? And why is the sister hooking up with the brother and the whole? And I was like, hey, listen, we don't even know really that that's the other sister. They've never said that. Did you guys hear those rumors in the beginning?
Oh, yeah. The thing is, whenever they would show me, they would say sister-in-law. So I didn't know where the confusion was coming from. I think just because he wasn't really on it at that point, nobody put two and two together that I was his wife, as a sister-in-law. So when he became into it, they thought like, oh, now Megan's with the brother, like with the,
Yeah, it was a very tricky situation. Yeah. So we introduce you guys very, very early on, and it seems like you guys are all super tight. Everyone's getting along. It was like a big extended family. To you, Charlie, I'll start with you. What was the thing that was the disconnect? Was it the fact that you really believed that Andrei was using your dad?
Yeah, absolutely. Not only Andrei, but Libby, they, I felt like were taking advantage of my dad. And, I didn't think it was right. And like, I'm not the oldest brother, but I'm the second oldest. My older brother lives in Maryland. So, I feel like, I have to speak out, and, I'm kind of loud and boisterous, and they don't like that, and I get my point across and they don't like that. And they don't really have any arguments to counter my arguments, and they don't like that. And so.
So now he's labeled toxic because
I'm toxic.
He speaks up and defends himself and his family. So he's like labeled toxic.
So yeah, and that's the part I don't get, because from what I've seen, and we run our after show directly after all the episodes, and we've, like I said in the intro, we've been Team Charlie here. I've had to go to bat for you, Charlie, quite a few times. But here's what I'm saying: it's like, this is your family, that is your blood, right? So some random, and I'm not calling him a random as in he's not known, but someone from outside the family comes into the family and all of a sudden is making the demands. And my question always to my audience is, well, where's his family? Why is it the father-in-law financially responsible for him? If he have all these big dreams, then where's his family to contribute? That's always been my take. I don't understand why there are entitlements, so to speak, there.
Yeah,
and
that's a good question. Sorry to cut you off, but
and I'm just wondering if you feel the same way.
Yeah, my point is, like, you come from a small, poor country, and your family didn't have money. You guys lived in this little apartment, basically what you would call the projects in America, basically. And so you would think if you come into America,
maybe more like
you're going to try to, capture the American dream, work your way up, things like that. But he came with a sense of entitlement. And, my thing is that, okay, you can do that. But the way my dad reacts is disappointing, how he just like, okay, I'll kiss your ass. I'll kiss Libby's ass, and, whatever you guys want, And,
but what changed, you guys? What changed? Because in the beginning, they didn't get along either. And he was definitely not Team Andrei. He had all the same questions that you had. So what changed?
Everything's changed.
I don't know. That's a question for them. I haven't changed.
Yeah.
They have. So, you'd have to ask them.
Everything in our family dynamic has changed. And Charlie and we're actually going on 21 years together next year. We've never had like this family drama or fights ever, as long as I've been around the family. So it's just like one thing after another with this guy. He's just, I don't know if he's like brainwashing the family or what, but like they're all like bowing down to him.
Well,
like I told my dad, I'm like, when we used to have family get-togethers, right? Barbecues, all that type of stuff. Megan was the one that was going out helping my dad shop, helping prepare all the meals, decorating all this type of stuff at Christmas, whatever. When we had the most kids, they only have like, Becky has one, Jen has two, Libby has one. And then now we're not even invited anymore.
To anything?
How do you explain that? Anything that we're like, the other siblings are going to be like there. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
but
Charlie's
why though? But why? This is what I want to get to.
The only explanation is Charlie's toxic.
Yeah, and what does that even mean?
But since when have you been toxic? Since you've been their brother your whole life?
That's the thing. I've been the same guy.
It all started changing before the reunion, the trip to Maryland. We didn't go on the RV. He didn't want to. I actually wanted to, but we weren't invited, actually. So that I wouldn't want to know. I know he wanted to know, but I thought it would be kind of fun. So we were
a terrible idea. You guys can't even be on a boat together, stuck in an RV with a little gross RV
I'm
toilet.
so glad we didn't go. But the fact that we weren't invited was kind of hurtful to me, and everything started changing with that trip. We go to Maryland, we bring our 4 kids. They tell us we can't bring our kids to the reunion because of COVID. Okay, so we find a sitter, our family, but it still was out of our way. And then we get to the reunion and they all have their kids there. And we're like, okay, so they tried us again there. And then multiple things kept happening. Other things went down in Maryland that weren't even filmed. I mean, they were filmed, but they weren't aired. Just nasty things that were said to us. And it was almost like they were all against us and out of nowhere. Like, what did we do to you? And we still don't know what we did to you. So I don't know.
Let's take it back to that very first season when Andrei finally came to America, right? So you guys had the wedding here and then the wedding in Moldova. I want to start with the wedding here. Everything was hunky-dory. He was still like the unknown, right? So there were no issues there. And I guess my question to you is, how did you feel about him coming to America, they're having their relationship? Because like you were saying, your sister was living with you at the time, right? So that
when he came to America, I don't think she was.
She moved out at that point. She was living with us when she interviewed for the show. So when she was being cast for the show.
Okay.
But fun fact, I actually got them their American wedding for free, which Andrei took, ownership of. Like, he paid for it. Never got a thank you. I didn't do it to receive recognition or anything like that. I do stuff out of the kindness of my own heart. But the fact that, like, he keeps talking about me and him, and it's like, dude, what did we ever do to you? Like, I don't understand what happened besides maybe Charlie blowing up after the wedding scene, that they started getting all like, let's cancel Charlie out of this.
So let's talk a little bit about Moldova, because there are some things that happened there. Would you change anything, Charlie, that you said or did, especially culturally wise? Because I think that's when people started like side-eyeing you a little bit.
I mean, I just give my perspective on things. There's no malicious intent.
Okay.
And
just things like
I've never been to like Europe, and I've never been to that, like, that. I guess that country used to be part of the USSR, which was like communism or whatever. They were telling me stories where his parents, when they had to wait like 8 years to get a car, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So culture-wise, it was a shock. It was like, so if I offended people, it wasn't my intent. But I was just giving my perspective on things.
And like, as far as the food, like, everybody can have an opinion on food.
I couldn't do the food.
Even things in America, you like, I don't want that. That's like, gross. People have different opinions and tastes for certain foods. So that wasn't like a dig on the country.
And the food that they were serving was like old school traditional, like, I don't even think they eat that these days. You know what I'm saying?
So you think it was more just as a setup to get the reaction, maybe?
Probably. I mean, they might enjoy that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, they were eating it.
So, I want to talk about that first pre-wedding dinner where you and Andrei almost got into that fight. How do you feel about that? And would you have changed anything?
Nah, I mean, I basically, like, we were sitting around, like, like, my dad wanted me to go over there and help him figure more out about Andrei, and that's what I was doing. And, people with sketchy past, I guess they don't want to talk about that. And then one thing led to another. He shut the F up, blah, blah, blah. Like, he felt more comfortable, like, with all his friends and everybody over Moldova, to show his true side finally. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, F you, don't tell me what to do. I'm going to say whatever I want to say, blah, blah, blah. And then, we kind of got into it, and then, I guess he always feels like I'm a threat to him in regards to, like, helping my dad and my family find out who he truly is.
And who do you think he truly is? Both of you. That's a question for both of you.
A douchebag.
He's a question mark, like,
I love everyone, and after Bears All, like, I can't even like look at the guy anymore.
Yeah, we can't even go there yet because we're not there yet. That was a whole other situation.
Like, I'm just like so disgusted by like a man speaking to me like that. Like, my own husband would never even talk to me like that.
That's not a man. That wasn't a man.
No, I know. It was gross.
We're gonna get to that too. But I kind of want to take us a little bit on a journey. So in Moldova, here's the thing, and this is gonna be uncomfortable. But I want to address the elephant in the room. This is how I feel about things. I find that oftentimes, because you guys are in a celebratory situation where there's going to be alcohol flowing, We all do it. When you go to a wedding, you have some drinks. When you go to a barbecue, you have some drinks, unless you're like a non-drinker. But I'm just talking about the regular person. You go to a bar, you're going to have some drinks. That's going to be involved. Now, Charlie, one of the biggest things that I hear often is people think that you're a druggie, alcoholic, you're always drunk all the time. But part of me feels like it's unfortunate because I think that anytime you're being filmed, you're in a social setting. And if you're in a social setting, you're going to have some drinks.
Exactly.
Some drinks are going to have, you know, a little bit looser lips. It's not going to change who you are, but you're going to have a little bit looser lips. Feel freer. And plus you're around.
Well, here's the thing. You're telling me that you've never been drunk at a wedding? That's what the people's telling me that? Like, not just you, but like anybody. Like, of course, when you go to a wedding, like you get lit, you get fired up, you know what I'm saying? Mine just happened to be televised, you know?
So how do you deal with it? Because there's a lot of hate. How do you deal with the haters, or do you just ignore it?
I don't care. Like, why would I care about somebody that I've never met?
He's really good at not caring about what anybody thinks. It affects me a little bit differently, but
yeah, she takes it like, you know, but it's like, you know.
the
thing about it is that all Andrei and Libby, all them see what the fans are saying, and then they go on TV and say that.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
They copy what the fans are saying.
That's how
they like run with it.
That's interesting. So do you want to directly address the fans and bunk the myth of the drug and alcohol? Because I was like, on our show, I'm like, how can he be all those things? They have a bunch of kids. There's no time to do all that. Do you want
like
to
what drugs, you know? I don't do drugs.
Yeah, we don't do drugs.
No.
I mean, I've been accused of doing meth. Like, I don't even know what that is. I've never even seen it before in my life. Or coke or whatever. I've never touched any of those.
Because I got arrested. I got arrested a long time ago.
Yeah.
For, you know, I was in a club, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go into details, but, you know, it was dismissed. You know, people were like, oh, you're a cokehead, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on, bro. Like, no, I got 4 kids. Like, no, I don't do coke.
And, you know, I'm from Canada, but I'll say this. In America, show me one person that has not had, because I actually know the stats, but show me one person that has not had like a DUI arrest or a disorderly conduct arrest, especially when you're young, right? So like you show me one. You are probably in the lower percentage.
All my sisters talk shit about her, and she's the one. She doesn't have a mugshot.
I haven't even had a speeding ticket, and I get accused of being like trash and this and that, and like, you know. Because of his, like, a past arrest, I get accused of doing something like, okay, anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting how a lot of people can throw those rocks, but they're living in that same situation if they were on a national level. So at the wedding, you decided that was going to be the moment that you spoke to Andrei about some of your frustrations. Do you regret that being the moment?
I felt like that was the best time.
He doesn't even remember it.
Charlie!
He doesn't remember it.
Wedding festivity.
He didn't remember that.
Yeah, I did.
Babe.
But even if you don't remember, you've seen it on TV. Do you have any regrets that you chose that to be the moment to confront him?
You know, I don't know. I mean, he'll remember that. I know that.
We will all remember that for sure. So you guys get back to America, and in my opinion, I think that things went downhill after that. So he was going to be a trucker at first, right?
I guess.
And then he was going to be
pilot, you know, all these type of things. I don't know.
I think he was going to be a trucker, and then he was going to be like a handyman. And then he decided that he was going to be a stay-at-home dad. And then at some point, he decided that he was going to get into real estate and join the family business. I want you guys to talk to us a little bit about the family business, because I think that a lot of us don't really understand the whole dynamics. How long has the family business been running? What are each of your roles, including your sister's role in the business?
We started back, 2014?
That's when you started getting involved.
Yeah. It was initially my brother and my dad, and then I joined. And basically, we were managing rental properties. We were buying and managing rental properties. So we did that for a while. you know, Jen helped out with books and stuff and like managing properties. Becky, I don't think she came along until she got a real estate license.
Okay.
So Libby was kind of doing the same thing like Jen was doing,
Okay.
you know, and Megan too, you know, and you know, Andrei. I guess they brought in Andrei because he was cheap labor, and you know, because he didn't have a lot of experience, and you know, it's a good way to give him a job, but also save money on labor because a lot of these handymans out there, you know, they're crooked, you know, and you know they charge out their ass for stuff. But anyway.
So he came in as a handyman originally.
Yeah.
Okay. And then somewhere in there, he got his real estate license with the help of Jen, right? Oh no, with the help of Becky.
Yeah. We don't really know. We don't talk to him like that. Like we don't know what he does or like, you know what I mean? Like all we know is he came to check and wanted $100,000 and we had something to say about it. Because, and really what I feel is he was trying to push all of them like out of the business and just be like him and Chuck.
Well, that's what it looks like, right? That's kind of where the storyline is right now, in my opinion. And so how do you guys feel about that? And I mean, why do you think that he feels entitled to 100,000? Because, and I might put this in a clip later, but he goes to camera in one of the episodes and literally says to camera, if this is manipulation, so be it. Like he literally says that to camera. So how do you feel about the 100,000, honestly? And why do you think he feels entitled to it? And why would your dad consider it? There's so many questions I have, you guys. Oh,
there's so many questions we have.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's cool. If you want to try to do that, that's fine. But if the problem is my dad agrees to that, that's on him.
Yeah.
You know, because anybody can go up to anybody and be like, hey, I want to be your partner and give me $100,000. If the person that says okay, that's the idiot.
I mean, you can't be mad at Andrei for asking. Like I'm all for asking because at least, you know, all they can say is no. But to ask for $100,000 when you have no real experience in the business was just like, what? Like, is this guy for real? That was like the shocking part.
Now, do you feel like your dad has a big role to play in some of the confusion?
A lot of it.
He's
more of a pot stirrer than y'all see. You know.
What does that mean?
He loves to stir the pot. He likes to say one thing to somebody and then behind other people's backs and then go to other people and say other things behind this person's back, you know, that type of stuff. So and then when people get together, there's conflict.
Yeah.
Because it's like, wait a minute, you said this. No, he said this, blah, 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 you know?
I feel like you might be onto something there, and here's why. So on our show, we talk a lot about why he would not just have all of you guys in a room and say, this is my business. Yeah. This is your role. This is your role. This is your role. This is your role. So everyone's on the same page. And then if there are any questions, you ask the questions and then everyone can move on. If there are secret meetings here and things said here and things said there, at the end of the day, he's supposed to be the patriarch of the family. He's supposed to be the one that owns the business. So there should be some defined roles, is what I always say. When it gets murky is when people think that their role is something and it's not. Yeah. So I guess my question to you is, because, you know, it's your dad and it's your father-in-law, you obviously know him the best. Why do you think he did not do that? And why is it like a whirlwind of confusion when really you can just have one conversation and keep it pushing?
Well, I think because, you know, we're not kids, like we're all grown adults. And, you know, when you try to get all these people together and say, you do this, you do that, like there's going to be problems with that too, because you're like, no, like, you know, blah, blah, blah. I was doing this and I'm good at this, blah, 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 and this and that. Like, there's always going to be like that type of like conflict. But I get your point. Like, yeah, you know, why not sit everybody down and, you know, instead of like, you know, selling this person the dream and selling that person the dream, and then, you know, just a bunch of bullshit, you know.
So where do things stand with the business? Or has everyone gone their separate ways? Are you still working with the family, or what's happening with you guys?
I mean, I'm kind of doing my own thing, but I'm working with my brother a little bit too. So he's in the same business. So
I still work with him, but things have definitely been like rocky with us. And I feel a lot of it is Andrei and his ear. I've literally been fired like 6 times.
That's
family reunion. And it's not anything to do with my work. Because I'm actually a really hard worker and I bring him a lot of money. So all I can think of is like, what is he saying to him? Like, why? Like, is that all he has on me? Like, he can fire me? Like, you know what I mean? It's just very weird because it's nothing to do with my work or my work ethic or like what I'm doing for the company. And I keep getting like, oh, we don't need you anymore. Oh, you don't need you. And then, you know, the next day he needs me again. So I don't know.
I'll start with you, Charlie, and then I'll go to you, Meg. So Charlie, do you miss your dad? Do you know what I mean? Like, you obviously had a close relationship with him. Do you miss that close relationship? And do you think that it will be possible to mend it?
I mean, I was just really upset about everything that happened and that basically, you know, he allowed happen. You know, so that really pissed me off for a long time, you know, but I was thinking about it and, you know, I got sons and I just thought about how if I was older and they were like my age and they wouldn't talk to me, how I would feel. So, you know, I've been trying to be like more of the person that come out and like talk to him and like things like that. Like, you know, his birthday was recent. I bought him a couple birthday presents and like brought him out music, you know, really happy. Really, you know, I really appreciate that, blah, blah, blah. You know, so, you know, it is kind of disappointing that, you know, because we were really close. Like when we were growing up, like he was my baseball coach, my basketball coach, my football coach. Like he coached all of our teams. Like, you know, I was one of we have 7 kids and I was like one of the closer ones to him because, you know, we always like the same thing. We did the same stuff, played golf together and all that type of stuff.
You lived with him a lot too, like after your parents split up.
Like in college, like, you know, we had a townhouse together, like, you know, and it's just disappointing to see the fallout and with no explanation of what did I do to y'all, bro?
And with our kids, you know, like
Another thing is like
no holidays with our family.
I'm the only one out of my family that has boys. I have 3 boys that's going to carry on the Potthast name, and you're gonna like let this basically remove you from my kid's life.
So are you guys having those conversations with him? So are you saying that you're making the baby steps towards mending that relationship?
I don't know, man, because like every time like you know, I'm like, hey, you know, come over and talk, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you know, this and that. Like, you know, he's older. He's had health issues. He has like high blood pressure, stuff like that. So, you know, he doesn't want to get all riled up. And
I know, but given that he has health issues, right? You want to have all the time with him, with you, and like you said, you have 3 boys. That's your grandpa. So, like, I don't know. I'll ask you, Megan. How do you feel about trying to mend that relationship for the 2 of you as well as for your kids?
Well, the thing is, we never asked for them to stop speaking to us. Like, it really bothered me that we went and had holidays without anyone. You know what I mean? Like, what happened? Like, why doesn't anybody want us around? Charlie's toxic, but what? Like, what does that mean? And what does that have to do with me and my kids? You know, I used to think of Chuck as like one of my best friends. Like, we told each other everything. I've been his like right-hand girl in the business since 2014. You know, we've always had a tight relationship, and like since late last year, everything just changed. The way he's treating me's changed. The way it's just the energy's off. Like, everything's weird. And, you know, I never had to like ask permission to come over and do my job or, you know, because I go there every once in a while to get things done. I work from home mainly, and now I have to like set appointments and like things are freaking weird. And, you know, with the kids, like I would sometimes bring my kids over while I got work done. I don't even do that anymore because it's just awkward. It's like almost like nobody wants us in their lives anymore.
It's just, there's 3 people, in my opinion, in his ear. It's Andrei, Libby, and Becky. Those are 3 people. And for some reason, I don't know what Becky has against me, bro, but she has like daddy issues that she takes out on me, which
it's weird.
I don't know.
But when did this start? Because you guys were all so close.
That's what we're
started
saying.
like last
October.
around this time.
Yeah.
Around this time.
And can you pinpoint a specific event that happened?
We were actually all together Halloween at Becky's house. All had a great time. There was no like drama, anything. And then a few weeks later, we all go to Maryland and like they all flip on us for no reason.
Did you think it was the Maryland trip?
I guess they had a horrible RV trip, and then they took that frustration out on us, which we had nothing. We weren't even invited on, so we had nothing to do with it. But they like took a lot of that like frustration with how horrible that trip was out on us, and then they started like saying like crappy crap like stuff to us that I don't even want to repeat. And just everything changed after that. You know, Jen and I were best friends for 24 years. She just stopped talking to me. And all she can say is, I told you I don't want to be around Charlie. But what does that have to do with me as your best friend? We can't go to lunch. We can't text. I can't go to your birthday.
That's
like,
bullshit too. That's bullshit too. Like, yo, you don't be around me. Like, okay. Jen, what have I ever done to you?
Like he like used to go out of his way, probably like an hour each way to pick her kids up from school so she could work. And like we've always done a lot for her kids.
Well, when her and Orlando split up, you know, Charlie's is similar to their age, my daughter. So, you know, and I was kind of a stay-home dad. I worked a little bit. I was going to college, and Megan had a good job. So I was basically taking care of Charlize. And when Jen worked, so I would pick up the girls, and basically I was like their second dad.
Yeah.
You know, and
we've always been so close with them.
Her daughters love me. I love them. And, you know, and they're really upset about all this. And like, you know, I mean, I don't know what Jen tells them, but, you know, they see past their bullshit. And they, you know, I talked to Kaylin, and Kaylin's like, you know, I really miss you guys. I hate this, blah, 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 you know, this and that. And I'm like, I know, you know, this and that. I don't know, man. It's sad.
It really is sad because you guys have so many kids amongst you. Right. And the kids are close, I'm assuming, because, you know, cousins are always close.
I mean, our Libby, Eleanor, and Josiah had the same exact due date. Josiah ended up coming early, but they're only 19 days apart. And the past year of their lives, they haven't even seen each other. And we did run into them one time at a restaurant, and they acted like they didn't even know who we were. And our oldest son, Jordan, like went up to them like all excited. Hi, Aunt Libby, you know. So she was being nice to him, but Andrei like didn't even like look at him, like didn't even like acknowledge his nephew is like right there. And it's just sad.
I'm trying to wrap my mind around when you guys became the pariahs of the family. I'm trying to figure out, because, you know, I've covered 90 Days since day one, and I've seen all the moments, and besides like the fights and the this and the this, it almost shifted, right? It almost shifted from, okay, we don't really know enough about Andrei. So the whole family had questions. The questions that you were asking were the same questions that your sisters were asking, that you were asking, Megan. Everyone was asking the same questions. And then I still can't figure out the point where all of a sudden you two became the problem. Was it the fight at the barbecue in this last season? Do you think
that was after that? They stopped talking to us before that. We thought we were going to that and just gonna like hash it out and finally like make up and start being a family again. Because that was after months of them not speaking to us. My opinion, I think everything changed once the Moldova wedding scene aired. And like once like it blew up and it became about Charlie and not their wedding, like everybody in the family started treating us differently. And I wasn't even there, but like that's my opinion, because there's no other reason. Like nothing else has happened.
You could say that they're clout chasers and I was stealing their clout. I don't know, which I wasn't trying to. But
it's possible. Let's talk about that fight this last season, the pool. So you come in, and I think that you were coming in hot, but I also think that it was part of. Wait, hold on. Let me finish my thought.
Right.
So coming in hot, but not in a way that you were trying to start a fight, but you were trying to be funny.
Yes.
In a tense situation. And I think that that's what got misconstrued, because we have played that scene over and over and over and over again. And I think and I don't know you, but I feel like I have brothers that are similar to you in the sense that they have that dry sense of humor. They can throw out something and it can be a bomb, but they're going to laugh about it. That's how I felt you came in.
Yeah.
You come in and there's some debate, but again, I've watched the footage a gazillion times.
Yeah.
Andrei is the one that gets up, right? And he's the one that says, you don't control this family anymore. You're not in charge of the family anymore. And then he takes a step to you after he's already told you to sit down, all the things. And then we pause because the question is, who started that fight? And I will be of, and have been of, the opinion that Andrei started the fight because he's the one that put his hands on you first. And that's how the fight started. What is your take on that fight?
I don't remember him saying that he's in charge of family.
Yeah. Well, I don't
remember him saying that, but I don't know. I came out like, and it's
explain
like,
why you said call the cops, because nobody understands that.
Because Thomas, like, I was mad on Christmas Eve, right? Because like we were excluding the family, and I sent them a text. We were in a group chat, like talking shit, blah blah blah. And
so you were excluded from Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't threaten anybody.
No.
I was just talking shit, you know. And then come to find out, this guy that I've never threatened in my life was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna try to get a restraining order against Charlie." Like, hey, bro, get a restraining order against me for what?
Who? What guy?
Becky's husband.
The new guy.
So that's why he came out and was like, "Bad guy's here, call the cops," because he was there. But it was a joke, and I was like smiling in the background. So,
and
I'm like, what?
And it's like they're all out there, they're like mad serious, like, rah, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, what's going on? Like, so I come out there, I'm like, hey, Charlie's here, the bad guy's here, call the cops, blah blah blah, and then Andrei immediately goes, you shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, blah blah blah, and like I was walking around to the other side of the table because that's where the seats were at, and like he gets up and like he got in my face, so I kind of pushed him back, and they like fucking grabbed me and like went to the ground, and then it all happened so quick. So I mean, I don't think I started the fight.
I don't think you started the fight either. I think that you threw out some verbal jokes that didn't land.
Yeah.
And it was already a tense situation.
I think they were just waiting. Andrei was just waiting for like a moment to like fight. He's always trying to like go outside, let's fight, let's do this, let's fight. Like, are you like a teenager or what are you?
He practices wrestling, man. I don't do that. Yeah.
In that moment, your dad, his gut instinct was to stand up for you. So when Andrei was talking about like, you get out of here, whatever he was saying, and then your dad said, hey, that's my son. Yeah. He's welcome into my house anytime. Don't talk to him like that. You can tell that bond between you guys is still there. And I keep bringing it back to your dad because clearly you guys are all close. And I just feel like that.
The thing I have to say about that is that how do you let your son-in-law feel that entitled to act like that at your house?
And that's why I was yelling, because I'm like, he thinks this is okay for like them to treat us like this. Like Libby said, I scratch her. I didn't put my hands on her. Like, show me the footage.
The problem I have
is
like,
scratch. I did not touch
the problem I have is that we haven't seen or talked to my dad really in like 3 months after Maryland, right?
Okay.
And then so we come in. And okay, you finally see your son after 3 months, and you like your son-in-law. Right when we walk in, jump up and say "F you," sit down, that blah blah blah. Like I would immediately stand up and be like, "No, you shut the fuck up and sit down, bro." Like,
but isn't that what he did? Isn't that what he did? Wasn't there a point? Because I distinctly remember.
It was after like we got into a tussle though.
Yeah.
But I mean, it all happened so quick.
Yeah,
so,
it was really fast. Everything happened so fast. But yeah.
Do you feel any regret for that situation, either of you?
I regret showing up because I thought like I said, we've been together 20 years. Like we've never had issues where we even go a day. Like I've never even had fights with the sisters. Like we've never even had a day where we didn't speak. So after that many months and like holidays passed, I thought like finally like it's our chance to like squash things, like move on as a family, and then that all goes down. And I left there like, what just happened? Like I honestly thought we were gonna like move on as a family, and that just made it worse.
We walked into a salty hornet's nest.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, what's y'all's deal, bro?
I know, like, why are you guys so miserable? Like, ugh, what kind of barbecue is this?
And so mad at the two of you.
I know.
For what?
Like, you would think if we were the toxic ones, they would be happy not having us around, you know?
I know you're trying to get that out of us, and I would love to tell you, but your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out. I would think that from even a fan perspective, we're trying to figure out where the disconnect was and why you guys are now the villains. And even in bringing it, and I'm going to bring it to, and this may or may not be uncomfortable, but we're all adults here. And my disclaimer is this: I'm absolutely pro-sex. I'm absolutely, it's your body, your choice. You do whatever the fuck you want. And if you want to sell whatever you want to sell, if that makes you money, then I'm all about it. I'm a big supporter of Stephanie. I'm a big supporter of Larissa. I'm a big supporter of all of it, because guess what? We're all adults, and let's not act like sex is not important. Let's not act like that's not a whole area where people make money. Okay, exactly. We're adults. That being said, we get to Bearzall. You go to Bearzall.
Yep.
First of all, Charlie, why were you not there? Were you not invited?
No.
They didn't want me there. They only wanted women on the stage, bro.
Stop it. So you get there, and all of a sudden it's about you, and you do this online, you sell this online, all the things.
Yeah.
And not to put you on the spot, but I'm gonna put you on the spot because I just thought it was the craziest thing to attack you for.
Yeah.
We know all the people that are on OnlyFans.
Exactly.
Okay. It's public knowledge.
Yeah.
99% of the 90-day franchise fanhood knows all the people on 90 Days that have an OnlyFans account.
Of course.
And so you selling feet pictures, okay, but why are we attacking you on that when we know that everyone on that stage has an OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why I didn't call them out on it, because I knew the fans would do it, because I'm like, you guys are freaking hypocrites. And they had it way before me. So I'm like, really? We're going after me?
Not only did they have it way before you, I'm sorry to say this. I'm trying to stay neutral, but at the same time, here we are at a tell-all where Larissa is the first to come out to be like, yeah, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. And is called to her face a prostitute, called all the things to her face.
What they do.
Oh my God, I will never do it. And then a month later, the people that are calling you out have the same thing and doing the same things that you're doing.
Sorry.
Our kids just got home.
No worries.
Yeah, I mean, it's hypocritical. It's like, it's hypocritical in its projection. It's like,
go in your room.
So why do you think they were so mad, Charlie? And then I know you had a couple of things to say on social media about it, but were you upset that you weren't able to be there to defend your wife?
Of course. I mean, any man that would wants to defend his wife when she's being ganged up on, especially by his own family.
Yeah.
The three sisters sitting up there looking like the mean girls, talking to Megan, and then you got Andrei acting like a woman too, just like, who talks to women like that? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's sad. It's like, and it's all hypocritical and it's projection. Like Jen and Becky, y'all were the first one on OnlyFans. You guys were like telling Megan to get OnlyFans, like blah blah blah, and then now you want to sit up there and like be mad that she sells feet pics.
Yeah, and why do you think that they would be mad about that? Like, it's a weird thing to be mad at, considering that we're all adults and we're all kind of doing the same thing.
Maybe because they would like to sell feet pics, but they can't. I don't know.
Yeah, I do have some cute feet. I will say that.
Yeah, we as watching that episode, we were all a little confused. And I know that some of my viewers were bringing up the same questions as why I brought it up, because it kind of doesn't make sense.
No. I'm like, wait, what?
And I mean,
getting all like, how dare you say I get you in your foot business? I'm like, first of all, I didn't even say that. I'm saying I was introduced to OnlyFans by them. I didn't say what they do or what. I don't care. I don't judge people. I could care less what you do with your life. Okay. I don't pay your bills. You don't pay my bills. Don't
That's
talk to me about it. But don't be a hypocrite. Like, why are you attacking me?
That's the thing that I think that my viewers and the fans couldn't understand is like, y'all are in the same business. So what's the problem?
And they're all like, all of them against me. Even Andrei. I'm like, ew, like, why is my brother-in-law, like, I don't even consider him a brother-in-law. He's a piece of shit. Like, why is he coming for me like that? Like, what have I ever done to this guy? Like, why is he on there? He said stuff they didn't even show. He was calling me trailer trash and I'm going to live in a trailer in 2 years. Like, way to cut down people that live in a trailer. Like, why are you always calling me trailer? I've never lived in a trailer in my life, nor would I judge someone or think I'm better than someone that lives in a trailer. Like, they're just constantly think they are better than people. And it honestly blows my mind because without like the family, like they wouldn't even be this far along in their seasons. You know, it's just crazy to me.
Now, speaking of the seasons, there is a lot of rumor, and I know that you guys are not going to be able to talk about it, but I'm just going to go with the hypothetical. So hypothetically, if there was a spinoff like The Family Chantal, and hypothetically, if it was, you know, The Family Libby, for a lack of a better title, and you guys were invited to do it, would you do it so that you could continue to tell people your side of the story?
Yeah. It's not over.
I mean, they would probably not want us to do it, but if the producers want us, we'll do it.
They're mad because Charlie is loud and argues a lot, and you know
they can't control Charlie. They never know what Charlie's going to say or do, and that makes them mad.
Well, I mean, I think that if you equate it to any great reality show, I think what people forget as well is that it's reality TV. And you know, a lot of it is it's real life, but it's also reality TV. And I think that sometimes even the fans forget, hey, you're getting a snippet of something that was filmed for 8 hours. You're getting about 20 minutes of it, right? So they forget that part. They forget that this is for entertainment. People are going to hate you, Charlie. They're going to hate you regardless. You're considered the villain on the show now. So you know what? You're gonna suck it up. You're gonna soak it in, and you're gonna roll with it. It's all good.
I just, you know, the thing about it is I always be myself. That's what I do. You either love me or hate me. You know.
And that I think that's what invokes such emotions with the fans. So I do think that hypothetically, if there was such show spin-off, you guys would probably absolutely be a part of it because they're gonna need the villains per se. Yeah. What are you guys working on currently? Since you guys are on some downtime, what are you working on currently?
Just our
raising 4 kids.
Raising 4 kids and our normal day-to-day jobs. And I've been doing more Instagram, like cooking reels and stuff like that. The fans love it.
Oh, we've been doing couples challenges.
Yeah,
I've seen that. First of all, Megan, you're not fat. You're not fat.
No, he wrote that.
You're not fat. And I was like, am I have to talk about this?
No,
that was it was like a TikTok trend.
Yeah. I've never called myself fat.
That was the caption on the trends.
I mean, I would like.
Okay, well, Charlie,
you
should have clarified that. You should have clarified that on your post.
Right?
Sorry.
I'm like,
if someone only has 30 seconds and they're only seeing what you wrote and what you're saying and then move on, then you need to clarify.
Yeah. Honestly, because like the caption on the TikTok, that's just all it was. And she was like, you can't do that. Like, you know, this isn't TikTok, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And I'm like, babe, I've never even said that. But I don't know. I don't even know what I was doing. I'm like, who's Larry? I don't know. Just take me around. It's fine. I don't know who Larry is, but whatever.
I'll put a disclaimer on there in the comments.
Yeah. I think you might want to. You guys do a lot of those couples challenge. They're very entertaining. One of the things that I want to talk about. So as you guys know, I run one of the Instagram pages, and the first time I reposted your family photo, a lot of people didn't know that you guys had so many kids.
Yeah.
And that you guys have been together for so long, all of that stuff. I want you guys to talk a little bit just about your family dynamic, because I think that, you know, people should want to know a little bit more about who you two are.
Wow.
Well, we had Charlize, and we, you know, she was the only kid. She was the only daughter. And she, until like, what, 5?
He's so bad with
I'm bad with numbers and names.
Okay, let me tell this
story. Either way, so and then we had 3 boys in a row. So now Charlize is like, she comes home and locks herself in the room because the boys are just crazy, But no, they're good. Like my boys, they're boys. They're crazy. They fight.
They're like their dad.
They're out. Yeah, they are.
Yes, especially very Jordan. Much like him. But we were together 13 years before we got married. We actually had our daughter in 2010. Didn't get married till 2013. So she was actually our flower girl. Aww. And then, next month we're celebrating 21 years together.
How did he propose to you, Megan?
Okay, so fun fact. I actually thought he was breaking up with me because he said he was being so weird. I don't know. He was being like so extra that day and like pacing the floors. Like he just like seemed like nervous.
Sweating bullets.
And so I go like, what is up with this guy today? So I think it was
like Christmas.
Christmas Eve or Christmas. I don't know. It's been so long. Yeah. I was actually like reheating an appetizer and like the microwave was going off as
he proposed.
So romantic. I think his whole plan like went to shit, so like he had to have a backup.
Like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it.
He was like, let me just do it. Like he almost didn't. Jen was there recording, and like he almost didn't wait for her. He was like so impatient and like antsy, but he was like, I don't want you to be my girlfriend anymore. And I was like, is this shithead breaking up with me? Like really on Christmas? But then he's like, I want you to be my wife. Like I don't want you to be my girlfriend. I want you to be my wife. And I was like, what? Because like. At that point, I was like, we were so happy together, like been together so long. We already acted married. Like, I was like really focused in my career at the time. And like, we didn't really discuss marriage. Like, I thought we were just like good with what we had, So when he proposed, I was like totally shocked. That's why I thought he was breaking up with me when he said that.
And where did you guys get married? And where did you honeymoon?
St. Thomas on Megan's Bay.
Basically, our wedding was our honeymoon.
Yeah.
So we did like a destination. So we went to St. Thomas, St. Martin. We went to the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did a 7-day cruise with 24 of our family and friends. And like some met us in St. Thomas for the actual ceremony. But we went to St. Martin, St. Thomas, Bahamas.
Imagine that. All my family came to see the Toxic Charlie get married. Mm-hmm. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Charlie, what would you say your toxic traits are, though?
The things that I don't like is I'm loud and I don't hold back. I tell it how I feel. Yeah. I don't care. Like, if I hurt your feelings, I don't care. Like, and I just tell it like it is. And, and people don't like that.
Megan, does Charlie listen? So I understand being a direct person, right? Because some people don't like to hear truths, and some people don't like direct talk. So is he also a listener? Because you can be a person that's very direct and honest and open and not care about what other people think, but do you also listen? And I'm going to ask Megan because she knows you the best.
I think he does. I think he definitely listens. I think that he's always been a straightforward, like blunt person. He also loves debating people. Like, if somebody wants to have a talk, like he'll go at it back and forth. And I think what intimidates a lot of people is he's had such like a strong voice that he may come off like he's angry, but he's not. That's just like his voice and his voice projection. So I don't know why people like, they can attack us with words, but when he speaks like a sentence, oh my God, he's so mean. It's like all he's doing is like speaking. Like he's not even yelling.
Yeah, it's like, like I said, I grew up with 7 kids and like my brothers and my friends, like we would always argue about sports and stuff like that. So if you want to get your point across, you got to be loud and you speak up. And, my dad kind of gets on me about that. He's like, dude, you're not arguing with your brothers and your friends. You're arguing with your sisters. You got to tone it down a little bit. I'm just like, it's kind of the way I am. I just, if I hear bullshit, I'm going to speak out on that,
But I mean, they yell when they speak.
And then they get mad because like, I don't know. When you lose an argument, you get mad.
When you lose an argument, you get mad. Is that what you said? Charlie, do you ever lose an argument?
Never.
You've never lost an argument? Not even to Megan?
Well.
Yeah, okay.
I
Okay.
won it, but I lost in the end. I lost it later on.
Okay, we'll go with that for now. We'll go with that for now. Charlie, in the list of the 7 kids, where do you fall? Are you the youngest? Are you somewhere in between?
I'm the second oldest.
The second oldest.
It went 3 boys, and then 3 girls, and then my younger brother.
Wow.
So we had the Brady Bunch for a while, and then Mike came along.
Yeah. And then Mike came along. Wrecked it. No, just joking. Okay, so another thing I wanted to touch base on, because they'll kill me if I don't, and so I'm going, why do you say bro so much? Because the memes are so funny to me, bro. I
know sometimes when I get like hyped up, I just like try to speak real fast, and then it's like, bro.
I tell him it's a filler word. It's like me saying like. That's his like. He says bro. I'm like, dude, enough with the bro. And I blame my daughter because like she's in middle school and she like started the whole bro thing, and then he ran with it. I'm like, thanks. Now I got to hear it all the time from him.
It's just kind of like, you start saying it, so you don't even catch yourself saying it because you say it so much.
Yeah, it literally is a filler word for him.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Because people have asked that question over and over again. But
he also enjoys bothering people. Like, it bothers people so much, they talk about it nonstop, and he enjoys that.
Oh, and so do you add a little extra to it? Is that what you're doing?
I don't know.
Yeah, you do.
I just do what I do. I don't know.
He just loves to annoy people.
I'm a mystery.
Are you a mystery, Charlie? I don't know if you really are a mystery.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's play a little couples game. I'm going to write the words down first. Okay.
Oh, gosh, she's going to fail.
Is he?
He doesn't remember anything.
Okay.
Does she give you a list of things to go over or something?
So I'm going to...
No.
Give me. Oh, Meg, no, she didn't. She didn't, but...
Ask him about this.
You guys have been married so long, like we want to learn some things from that, right? You've got 4 kids,
sure,
been together for 19 years. You have to be doing something, right?
Yep.
Right? So I'm just going to ask a few couple questions. Okay, Charlie, you're up first. When's Meg's birthday?
7/31/84.
What's her favorite color?
I think it's between black and pink.
I don't really have a favorite. I have like 4.
She wears black most of the time.
Black, pink, red, and blue. Those are my top. And I'm not wearing either one of those today. But
what is she scared of?
She's a goody. She's scared of everything.
I follow the rules. I'm a rule follower.
Okay. What's her love language?
Her what?
Love language. How does she like to be loved? Does she like gifts? Does she like contact? Does she like beautiful notes? What's her love language?
Like, come here, let's go.
I like sex.
I can't with you.
I don't need gifts. I need...
Clearly, 4 kids later, clearly. That's a given.
One thing I need. Keep your gifts. I can care less about your flowers.
Hilarious. I can't even play this game. Normally, when I play this game, it's a timer. So you have to go quick. But you two are anomaly. So, all right, Meg. First question. Same question. And you're obviously going to know it. But when's Charlie's birthday?
October 18th, 81.
Favorite color?
Blue.
What is his favorite sporting team? Football, basketball, baseball, whatever.
Well, it was the Redskins, but it's now what? The Washington football team?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I grew up in Maryland.
Interesting. What is Charlie's love language?
Same as mine.
That's why you guys are perfect together.
We give each other love languages every day.
When you got 4 kids, you don't got a lot of time for romance. Just like, all right, let's do this.
We do enjoy date nights, but we enjoy just alone time.
Fair enough. If you could go one place, or if Charlie could go one place in the world, which was going to be your question too, Charlie, where would you go to visit?
I don't know. We don't really we don't care. We're not
world
travelers.
No?
Where do you want to go, babe?
Augusta National, where they play the Masters at.
See, he wants to stay local.
It's in Georgia.
She's talking about like a romantic, like
no, that's fair. Those are your answers. That's fair. That's fair. Those are your answers. That's totally fair. Okay. Now, Meg, we talked about some misconceptions that the fans had. What is something that they don't know about Charlie that you want them to know?
That he's a great husband, he's a great dad, and he's a very present husband and dad. Like, we're literally always together, and you know, the kids love him. They love him more than me, probably. They listen to him, they don't listen to me.
And what's one thing that you want the fans to know about Meg and Charlie?
Well, she's not a crackhead. She's not a meth head. She doesn't do drugs. But no, she's a really great mom. She's on top of everything. You know, she's really good at taking care of the house, like keeping it clean, keeping it straight, making sure the kids are on time. She's real punctual with that type of stuff, making sure the kids are, you know, their clothes are clean. You know, their backpacks are packed, like they do their homework. And, you know, she makes sure that they do what they do. And, you know, she makes sure that there's food on the table. You know, great housewife.
I love that. Now, here's my question to you guys. When you two argue, how do you resolve your conflict?
Sex.
I mean, no, really. Making sex is the best type of sex to have.
We argue about like the stupidest stuff. Like if we argue, we don't even remember what we were arguing about because.
Well, I think when we argue, like I think we both see their point of view, so we understand. Like, okay, she made a good point here. Okay, he made a good point here. So, you know, we kind of work on that. Like, you know, you made a good point, so yeah, I'll work on that.
Yeah.
You know?
And a lot of times it's not even an argument like from us. We're frustrated with like life, like kids or whatever, like, and we just take it out on each other. So that's why we're like, why am I mad at you? Like, are you mad at me? Are you mad? You know.
Are you two best friends?
Yeah, he's my guy.
I wouldn't say we're best friends.
You're a jerk. I mean, we're always together. I don't really consider like. I actually always thought it was kind of lame when people would consider like their spouse their best friend because it's like that's your husband. Like you should obviously have a better relationship than a best friend. But I mean, we tell each other everything. And
in my opinion, best friends are more like each other. And I think in like couples, opposites attract.
Yeah.
So like I'm a certain way and she's a certain way, and that attracts, you know.
That's why we get along good.
Exactly.
So you guys are opposite personalities. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
And is that the secret to a long relationship?
It works for us.
I mean, if you could put up an asshole like me, then, you know, and she's good at that.
You're very lucky, Charlie. I will say that you're very lucky.
Thank you.
He doesn't understand how lucky he is.
I think he does. I think he might not verbalize it because he's a mystery, but I think he does. Awesome. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. This has been very enlightening. Do you have any last words, any questions that I didn't ask you that you want the viewers to know? Because I know that once this airs, it's, you know, people are going to have some things to say.
Exactly.
Follow me on Instagram at Charlie Potthast.
Oh my God. You made me laugh so hard that I dropped you from the stream real quick. You're a mess. You're a mess, and I love it. I think it's great. Hopefully, we will be seeing you guys again on our screens soon. I personally think that we will. And I appreciate you guys' time, and thank you so much for joining us. Guys, make sure, like he said, that you're following Charlie and Megan all across their social medias. Do you want to give the handles out again, you guys?
At Charlie Potthast, Potthast, last name.
And mine's at Meg Potthast.
Awesome. You guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, definitely just throw them to their DMs. Don't come at me. I don't have that type of time. If you don't agree with something that they said, go ahead and inbox them. Don't inbox me.
Hey, tell your fans no hate.
They already know. They already know that my brand is not.
She's really good at that.
I don't care. Like,
she's really good.
Send me hate all you
this
want.
is the wrong page for you. Don't come for children.
We don't fuck around with kids. We don't fat shame. We don't do any of the things on my page.
And I'm gonna make him fix this caption on that.
Yes, he is. I'm gonna check it out too. I'll be on my phone, Charlie. You have an hour to fix. No, just joking. Guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys all again soon. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.